Hey, what happened to your face? Looks like you got hit.
Is there a bathroom nearby? Can we pull over now?
I'm scared. She can't be trusted to talk to Brittany's dad. Kayla! Get down! Where's your friend? Oh.
Whatever this game is that you were playing, it's over.
Where's Brittany?
Get off me!
Dad, get out of here!
I'm going to the police.
Hey guys, welcome to Lebo Man Reviews. Today we're going to look at the 2018 film The Lie. It was written and directed by Venus Sud. It's actually a remake of a 2015 German film called We Monsters. It was produced by Blumhouse Television, Mad Dog Films, and Bitter Boy Productions, and it was released at the Toronto International Film Festival back in September of 2018. That was the one viewing of it, and then it was kind of shelved. And then Amazon Studios picked it up and released it on Amazon Prime in October of last year. So that's where you can watch this. It's on Prime. It's kind of a psychological thriller. It's starring Mireille Enos, Peter Sarsgaard, and Joey King. And basically, this movie asks the question, how far would you go to protect someone you love? What would you do? Especially if you were a parent. What would you do to protect your child and cover for your child? But basically, the story involves Kayla, who's this awkward 15-year-old girl who kind of splits time between her parents, Rebecca and Jay. At the very beginning, in the credits, you see videos from when she was little, and they were a happy family. But she's grown up, and obviously things have happened. Jay's a struggling musician. Rebecca, it doesn't really say what she does. I'm not sure if she's a lawyer, but she has connections with the police department and with lawyers and the legal system, so she does something along those lines. But now, this family is broken. This family that was once happy and bright, it's kind of dark and dreary now. There's a lot of distrust among them, and you can see that from the very get-go. But the story starts off, Jay is driving Kayla to this band retreat over the weekend. And they see Kayla's friend Brittany sitting at the bus stop on the side of the road, and Brittany gets in the car with them. Kayla convinces her dad, Jay, to pick Brittany up. And they're driving along, and Jay has his band's music playing, and Brittany kind of acts flirtatious. It's kind of odd. Brittany's kind of flirting with Jay, and Kayla picks up on it, and she's upset. And they continue driving, and Brittany says she has to use the restroom, so they pull off the side of the road, and Brittany and Kayla leave, and they go out into the woods. And Jay's waiting there, and it seems to be taking quite a bit of time. And then all of a sudden, Jay hears a scream. So he runs, follows their footsteps in the snow out into the woods, and finds Kayla sitting alone on a bridge, crying. And as he's sitting there trying to console her, she tells him that she pushed Brittany off the bridge. So he goes down and he's looking in the water, and he can't find a body. All he finds is her phone, so he grabs the phone, grabs Kayla. They get in the car and they go back home, and they eventually end up back at Rebecca's place. And there's this huge fight between Rebecca and Jay about how Jay is a horrible father, and he can't get a word in. And finally he gets her to listen, and he tells Rebecca what's happened. And that's when Kayla tells them that she killed Brittany. Brittany had been messing with her boyfriend, been flirting with her dad, and she killed her. And so almost immediately they start to concoct a story, trying to figure out what they're going to do. They very briefly consider calling the police and then push that aside. And they start telling lie after lie. It doesn't take long, though, for Sam, who's Brittany's dad, to show up looking for his daughter, because he gets a call saying that the girls never showed up at the retreat. And then pretty soon the police are involved, and because Rebecca had connections with the police, they're trusting her and they're listening. But once again, they start to tell lies. They're frightened. They don't know what's going to happen to Kayla, and Kayla is being really awkward. She's being really, really weird. So you get the sense that something is not right. Something's not going on. And each lie, they tell lies to Sam, Brittany's dad. They tell lies to the police. And it seems like that everyone has a secret. Everyone is hiding something from someone else. And each lie kind of drags them deeper and deeper, and they start to panic. And then everybody starts looking at them. The dad is looking at them. The police are looking at them. They're looking at each other. Jay's girlfriend starts looking at them like something weird is going on. And then Kayla just keeps getting weirder and weirder. They finally tell the police to come up with the idea that Sam had been abusing Brittany, trying to divert the attention to the dad because Brittany did have a bruise. And then Sam gets more and more agitated. Rebecca and Jay get more and more desperate, and the police start to get more and more suspicious because evidence starts to appear that doesn't really support anybody's story. And there's suspicion everywhere. You get the idea that Rebecca and Jay don't trust each other. Sam definitely doesn't trust them. They don't trust Sam. The police don't trust them. They don't trust the police. And meanwhile, you've got Kayla all in the middle of this. Just kind of going on autopilot, acting really, really weird. And I don't want to give any spoilers away. Unless it's a movie that's been out for a long time and you've had plenty of opportunity to see it, I don't like to give spoilers away. So I'm not going to discuss key events that take place in the last 25 minutes of this film because it will ruin this film if you've never seen it. But what I will say is that all of the lies eventually come to a head and there is a showdown between some of the primary characters, especially these three parents. And that's really all I want to say because anything else I say is going to give away certain things that happen because there is a huge plot twist right at the end of this movie that complicates things and adds a totally different layer to this movie, and I don't want to ruin that. And as I've said in my other videos, I don't want to be preachy, but I am a pastor. And I do want to look at things from a spiritual viewpoint and from my world viewpoint. And there are some spiritual themes definitely in this film. The film was shot in Toronto during the winter, so it looks cold and bleak. And that perfectly matches this family. Like I said in the beginning, you see home video where they were happy and everything's bright and shiny and smiley. But almost immediately you have this dark, gray, cold, dreary atmosphere. And everybody operating within it is acting like that. It sets the theme. This family that was once close and happy is now distant and distrustful of one another. They don't know one another. Neither parent understands how their little girl has grown up so fast and gotten so damaged. And as the parent of a 15-year-old daughter, I can completely understand and relate to that. As a parent of two grown sons, I can think back when they were little, and that time goes by so fast. So the movie does deal with the idea that time is incredibly quick, and time is cruel. And these parents looking at their daughter really don't know her. They don't recognize her. Whatever the relationship was at the beginning with the loving husband and the loving wife and the child and the loving parents, that's gone. And none of them know each other any longer. And neither one of them really seem to take responsibility. They both kind of push all the problems off on the other one. And in the process, they tend to ignore Kayla. And sadly, that's the truth of a lot of family relationships today between parents and children. The truth is, this family doesn't know each other well at all. But yet, there's still the family connection, there's still the love, and the idea that these parents have to do anything they can to protect their daughter. And the fact that they don't really know her, they don't know how to handle it. So they continue to lie. And the lies, and there are several all throughout the course of this film, they just stack up one on top of the other. And pretty soon the parents realize that every lie they tell requires another lie and requires another level of the deception. It's gone from being a simple thing to having to concoct all of these different stories to get together and make sure that their stories fit. And then when the evidence starts to show up that contradicts all the things they said, they have to tell even more lies and be even more deceitful. You know, that's probably something that we all learned in our childhood, that you have to tell one lie to cover up another and another and another. And there are moments throughout the entire film where the characters have the opportunity to set things straight. At the very beginning, they could have gone to the police and reported it. And it wouldn't have built up, and it wouldn't have become this thing that it becomes. But every chance they get to tell the truth and stop this web that they're weaving, they choose to lie. They choose deception. Like I said, I'm not going to preach, but in Jeremiah 17, 9 and 10, it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it? I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve." And if there is a Bible verse that can encapsulate this movie, that's it. They get so caught up in the lies that it's almost like they forget they're lying. It's their first course of action is to be deceptive. But like that passage in the Bible says, in the end, the Lord sees the truth. The truth is eventually going to come out. And the truth eventually comes out in this film without giving anything away. Jesus, when he was here on earth, and this is how I'll kind of close this. Like I said, I'm not preaching. But he told a group of people that were listening to him, if they listened to his words and obeyed, then they would know the truth. And then everybody knows this part. The truth would set them free. And I don't believe that's just a Christian or a biblical sentiment. I believe that's true in our lives no matter what you believe. We're almost always better off. And I would probably go even further and say we are always, every single time, going to be better off when we tell the truth. There's really no good reason to lie. We tell ourselves that there are reasons to lie, little white lies, but it's better just to be honest. It's better just to get it out in the open. It's better to just man up in the beginning and deal with the consequences, whatever they're going to be, because the more you lie, the more you deceive, the further and further you fall down into the hole, and it only makes things worse. And then if you watch this and you get to the end, this twist ending definitely hammers it home. That if they would just been truthful at the very beginning, everyone, because we find out as this movie goes along, everybody's lying and covering up something. If they would have just told the truth, you wouldn't end up with the ending that you get. And I will tell you, without spoiling it, it's not a happy ending. They reap what they sow. But it's a very interesting movie. It's not a perfect movie. It is filmed well. I did enjoy it. I probably will watch this again because I think there are different layers. If I was going to give this a rating on the A, B, C, D, F scale, I would probably give this one a B, a solid B. The acting is very competent. I believe it's well written. There's some things that happen that are a little bit, for lack of a better word, they're kind of wonky. They're not very believable. There are some places in the movie where the dialogue is a little cringy to me. And some of the side characters really don't serve any purpose. You could have had the film without them. But overall, I believe it's a good script. I would really like to see the original movie that it's a remake of, but I've yet to find that. But overall, I think it's a good performance. I think it's good writing, good direction. And if you have Amazon Prime, I think it's worth the hour and 40 minutes or so to watch it. So I give it a B. If you've seen The Lie, what did you think of it? Leave some comments down below. Let me know what you thought. Like this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe to it. I appreciate all those who are already subscribers and are already watching. I appreciate you sticking around. I've got several more reviews coming out next week, and I invite you to stick around for those. Thank you for supporting me. I really appreciate it. I'm Lee, and I'm done.